baby.
This is so wizard.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daniel channel. I am Daniel and I'm back. It's my third episode of the Star Wars Episode 1 Micro Machine Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at Theed Rapids, River Escape, and Battle Droid Attack. First things first, let's take a look at the outside of the box. Alright, so of course we've got our Obi-Wan in blue up in the top left corner, our gold Star Wars icon with Episode 1 labeling on it. The top right shows it says includes Bongo Sub, Bongo, Qui-gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, again, they're telling us there's only two figures in one vehicle. Two figures, one vehicle, but I think there's going to be a lot more to this. Alright, let's get back to the box. It does have the Micro Machines logo. Mine's a little faded, just because it's been sitting on a shelf for a long, long time. It does say Theed Rapids, River Escape, and Battle Droid Attack. And if we look at the artwork, we look at what the Jedi are doing, it looks like they're smacking two battle droids around. And those battle droids were not listed as figures up in the top corner. Like I'm saying, it's more than you're asking for, or more than they're teasing on the top, which is what I like about this series so far. They've surprised me each time. Okay, it goes on to say ages 4 and up, warning choking hazard because they're small parts. Actual product and features shown on back. Some assembly required. Yeah, you know, I'm noticing if we look on the front, take a look at the water. Take a look at that waterfall and the way that looks. I don't think it's actually going to look like that on the actual product. I think the water is a little bit different, if I remember looking at the back correctly. But let's do that. Let's see what they've got on the back of the box. All right, our top left corner. Let's start with the part where it says Qui-gon Jinn. You can see Qui-gon down there. It says turn knob to destroy battle droid with lightsaber. That's interesting. That'd be cool to see how that works. Features fit in pivoting boom and swing to shore. That's an interesting look. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. It does come with a playset connector. I like this. You can attach it to other playsets in Naboo or that use that same little green thing and kind of make yourself like a whole like scene setup in your room or like a whole diorama display. Should be pretty cool. It goes on the bottom to show the Bongo Sub, which last week we looked at the big Bongo Sub that opened up. That's kind of cool. We're getting another Bongo Sub, which is why we're here. This is the next part of the movie, which based on this, and I'll read something off the little blurb in a second. But based on this set, like the part that it's based on in the movie, The Phantom Menace, I don't know that this actually happens. We'll get to that in just a second, though. Okay, so after the Bongo Sub, we see that you can rotate the plant to simulate battle droid repelled by the Force. So it's like Qui-Gon be using the Force and knocking out a battle droid. That's really cool. Slide lever to launch vehicle. What vehicle? The Bongo Sub? That's an interesting move. Slide roof open reveals vehicle launch pad. Okay. Let's read the blurb. Let's read the blurb so you guys can know what I'm talking about here. So the blurb says, Star Wars Episode 1. Traveling in a Bongo Sub, the Jedi leave the underwater city of Otoh and emerge at Theed Rapids. They barely escape going over a waterfall as the sub is swept away by the river's current. Leaving to shore in the nick of time, they must destroy deadly battle droids. They have taken over Theed Palace. That's kind of weird because I don't remember the Bongo Sub being swept away by the current. I remember them popping up after Otoh. I like it we're doing this in order. But so last week was the sub. This week's going to be after the sub emerges and they get to Theed Palace. But in the movie it just like sits there and then they leave. This is making it seem like they have to like escape. It says just in the nick of time, leaping to shore. In the nick of time, they must destroy the deadly battle droids, which they do. They get there and they destroy battle droids, but it wasn't like a big issue where they had to like escape it from falling over the waterfall. So that makes this set interesting, that it's not really from a specific part in the movie. I mean, it is. They do leave the sub and go to the palace, but there's no weird waterfall moment like that. Though we do see the waterfalls through random just like exterior shots. I don't know. Either way, that's pretty cool. All right, let's see what else they got in the bottom here. It just goes through most of the other collections. There's nothing too weird on here that I haven't already seen. Just your basic collections. Some of the ones we already did. Jar Jar Binks and the Bongo Sub. Theed Palace is coming up soon. A lot. Yeah, there's nothing weird or out of place on here. I am looking at the whole box now, though. And, you know, the bottom, the top, nowhere is it Sad Baby approved. There's no thing here. It says 0 to 3 Sad Babies, which is interesting that the last one did. This says 1999 Galoob, so that's something also kind of just to keep in mind. It does not say Hasbro. The last one said Hasbro Galoob. This one just says Galoob. Ah, okay. To any of you experts out there, I know there's a handful of you that watch these that are like Micro Machine experts. Probably know them way more than I do. I'm just a collector who likes them. Some of you know the full history and like all of it. If you can tell me why the last one, the Otogunga, let me see if I can pull him up. This guy. Why this guy says Hasbro and Galoob. This one, the bottom is much, much different. Like fronts, bottoms, so different. And it's not, it seems to be like a thing. That's so weird. I don't get it. But if anyone out there knows, leave a comment down below, because I would love to learn more. Alright guys, I've got my Blade of Exact Zero, which means I'm going to open this thing up. 20-year-old toy. 1999. This thing's 20 years old. I bet some of you watching aren't even 20 years old. How crazy is that? But, I've opened it. I do need to let you guys know that I find Amazon links. I find eBay links to these, and I post them down in the description below. And if you guys use any of those links, that's what I use to fuel the channel. That's what makes these videos happen, is when you guys use those links. So just a heads up, if you use them, thank you. It's appreciated. I get a very small commission, but the more people that use them, the bigger that commission grows, and the more videos I'm able to make each month. So those of you who use them, just know you're the reason this channel keeps going. Alright, let me see what I can get out here. Did I drop anything yet? I did not yet. Box, empty. Almost like flicked the X-Acto in my eyeball. That would not have been good. Alright, the inside contents. You ready to see this? Little instruction sheet. Oh, are there stickers? No, there is a playset collector's guide. I think I've seen this before. It just tells me how to assemble it. It talks about the various playsets and the planets that they're on. It talks about Action Fleet scale and regular Micro Machines Fleet scale, or whatever you want to call it. There's some stuff here. Some of these Action Fleets, man, I might have to start collecting Action Fleets. I don't collect them. I only stick to the main scale. But now that I'm seeing that Action Fleets have actually quite a few sets in the Episode 1 lineup, I feel like I'm missing out. So I might have to jump on that. We'll see. I'm going to finish all the Micro Machine playsets, the Episode 1s, and then we'll see where I go from there. But there is quick little assembly instrucciones. I don't know if you can see them there. Kind of bright. But overall, looks pretty simple. Inside, we've got a couple twist ties. Okay, that wasn't too complicated. Got main piece. Got some stuff hidden in the bottom there. I've got a little taped on section. There's a battle droid inside. Okay. Oh, looks like he falls apart. I hope that's because he falls apart and not because it's broken. It looks like there is a string inside, which is really interesting. That's pretty cool. Again, I'm seeing all this stuff for the first time. I did not collect these when I was younger. I collected the original Star Wars Micro Machines, but I did not collect the Episode 1. None of the Episode 1. I was kind of over it by then, I guess. I don't know. I was in a weird... I was like 13, 14, and I just didn't, for some reason... I don't even think I saw them in stores now that I'm... I don't know. It was a weird time. I think I was in high school, and I was like a little too cool for toys somewhat, but that doesn't make sense, because I always had toys. Like, I never stopped. So, I don't know, but I'm going to open this thing up. I'm going to get it assembled, set up for your viewing pleasure, and I will be right back. Alright guys, here it is. We've got it all assembled and ready for you. You can kind of see different focus parts of it. There's the back end, middle is kind of focused, now the front. You can see the Bongo Sub a little bit better. This thing looks great. Like, it's a really good looking playset. You can see a lot of like the vine work and stuff that they did on the walls. It looks really cool. If you look close, you can kind of see the grass. See the grass down here? You can really see some of those details. And it looks nice. The rock work's well done. Even the back, you can see all the brick and everything. There's some really interesting and neat features here. There's one of the wheels. They said you can kind of turn knob to destroy battle droid with lightsaber. That I didn't quite understand what that meant, but it just doesn't, like, I don't know how it's supposed to destroy the droid, but it does. And if you look close enough, see if I can get him, there we go. you can knock this droid in half. Like you can cut this droid in half, and he like splits. See that? He like splits over. There's a little rope inside that, let me see if I can remove this piece now. There's a little tiny rope in there that you can like snap him together. It's an interesting figure that I'm not quite sure how it does what it does, or what it's supposed to do when it hits the end. How does it actually cut the droid in half? But whatever it does, it's supposed to just kind of make that happen. If you look real close, you can see there's a little bit of rope in there, a little bit of string. I just kind of would like to know a little bit more about how that's supposed to work, because it doesn't exactly say. You know, at the same time, though, I haven't really looked at the instructions, so maybe it does say, and I just missed it. No, so I just double-checked the instructions, and it doesn't really say anything specific. It basically just says, turn the thumb wheel to destroy the battle droid, and that's about all it gives you. But here's another kind of closer look at some of the other features. It does say, talk about the sliding roof. So this roof does slide back. There you go. You can see a little bit better this way. The whole roof slides back. Now if we look extra close in there, let's take a look all the way in there, you can see that there's stickers. Now these stickers were already placed. I didn't have to place any of those. But they're like of starships, so it's supposed to look like the hangar. And that's actually a really cool feature. And there's this little sliding tab that, again, if you kind of like have it all the way down, let me zoom out just a smidge. There you go. It kind of launches your ship up and out of the hangar, just like in the movie. Now, it doesn't come with a ship that really works like that. You could do it with the Bongo Sub, but it doesn't actually, well, it barely fits, but it wouldn't fit flat. One thing I did want to point out about this Bongo Sub, and I think you guys will find this interesting, especially some of you diehards. This isn't the Bongo Sub from this set. This one is. They're very, very similar. Very, very similar, but they're actually slightly different sculpts. Just slightly. One thing you can tell a difference on is in the paint job. This is the one from the Collection 1, just like set, kind of like these sets. You can kind of see them there. But from Collection 1, that's this one here. This is the one from this playset. And in the back, you can kind of see somewhere in the markings, there's a, right there, the LFL 98, was it 98 GTI? There you go, LFL 98 GTI versus the other one says 98 LFL and then 98 GTI. Plus, you can see the paint is a little bit differently applied. There's just a couple slight differences in there that I'm actually going to keep this one from this playset in its own little container. I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to leave it be and use this one for the demo of the waterfall. If you take a look at the waterfall, now remember what I showed you in the back of the on the back of the box, it looked different. I was like, I don't know if it's going to look exactly like that. We can zoom out a little bit and kind of see how that ended up. And you can see up here, it's not exactly the same at all. Like, the water up here looks way different than the water we ended up with. So, just kind of an interesting thing. One thing I do want to note is this is extremely hard to do. Let's zoom in a little bit, kind of show you. I have to hold it down. Oh, it did fall. But it's kind of worrisome because this is just paper. This is literally just printed paper, and that's Scotch tape right there holding this thing together. You can kind of see it. Oh, I lost qui-gon. That's fine, makes it official. But there's just literally Scotch tape holding this 20-year-old piece of paper together, and it's hard to do. It actually kind of hurts my fingers to rotate this thing, and I'm only holding it down here just because it's a nice little base point. But you can't really do it fast, and it definitely feels like it's caught on something. But if you look underneath, you don't really have access to it unless you unscrew everything. So that's a little weird and worrisome, but it's not too bad. It's okay. One of the other functions they said is figures fit in the swinging boom to swing ashore. There are little holes in the bottom of the two Jedi, so you can swing them over, and they would just swing, boom, now they're safe. You can also move these all the way to the end. There you go, and you can kind of meet up with the droids right there. There are a couple other little functions, so if you want to pretend that Qui-Gon here is going to use the Force against that droid, you would do this. You would turn this, and he would fly back. See that? That's kind of cool the way that works. I like that. So it's like he's using the Force, you just twist it, and he flies back. Another angle of that happening. Well, I don't know if I can do it without my hands being in the way too much. There you go, slightly closer look. Pretty awesome. And again, you can see a lot of those little details of the plants on the side of the wall. And we can even open up that hanger on the top. You can kind of see inside. Pretty nice. I mean, this front end right here does look pretty accurate to what I remember seeing in the movie. The way the hanger is. I think the only thing I'm missing that I should do right now... Oh, this reminds me of this piece. So remember the box? Remember the box shows us this green one up here? This doesn't look anything like that green one. This playset connector is completely different, so it doesn't really match with the rock work. It kind of matches if you use it over on this end. And at the bottom of the playset are these little holes. There's some down here, down here, down here. But if you want to attach them this way, then it works out kind of a little bit better. You can attach another Palace playset, maybe put this hanger next to the actual Theed Palace, or something else like that. But overall, these micros look really good. Let me show you a couple close-ups real quick. There you go. There's Qui-gon. You can see all the detail on him. He's looking really good. Got his green lightsaber. Hair looks pretty good. See his little ponytail back there. It's normal. A little bit grayer on the hair color. Interesting. If we go to Obi-Wan, let me pull up Obi-Wan. He looks okay. He's got the little bun thing in the back. Then he's got his little braid too, and it looks a little long. It looks a little thick and a little long for an Obi-Wan braid. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Overall, it's a cool sculpted figure. It's just the hair looks a little wonky and funky on that. But they are tiny, so it's kind of... You can't really blame them on that. I'm going to take this other figure off. There you go, because he counts as a figure. Even though they didn't really mention him, he totally counts. And he doesn't split apart or anything like the other one. But he does look pretty good. Again, I want to show you that other last figure. Let me just remove that whole little playset here. And I don't know what. He looks cool, and then he kind of just like splits apart, which is a neat function. It just doesn't actually work. I don't get it. Kind of weird. But this whole piece does just fit right in to the back end of the playset, like so. And then this other thing, the swinging boom, it did say, what did it say? Turn the knob to destroy. Oh no, it was the back knob. But this actual thing here, you just pivot them in, and then you can drop this down. Maybe you can drop it down just to hide it, so it's not like this weird piece swinging in the middle of your waterfall. There was a way. There you go. It does pop down, so it's out of the way. You've got your battle droid figure, who sits right there, and then we can maybe even add more battle droid figures if we want to from other sets. But overall, I mean, it's a pretty cool looking set. I like it. It's pretty good, but again, it's not really anything that majorly happened in the movie. Yes, they did knock out a couple droids when they got there, but again, this waterfall thing didn't happen the way it does on this toy. Well, guys, I do think it is a pretty cool set, like as far as the features and what it does, but I'm going to have to give it just 3 out of 5 kitsters on this one, because it doesn't exactly have stuff from the movie. It's a cool sculpt, and I like that it's got the hanger, but it doesn't come with a ship to actually use in the hanger, so I didn't use it in this demonstration. I didn't put a ship in there. But, I mean, you could put the little starfighters if you want, if you have them, but that requires you to buy something extra. And I like it when these sets are all just self-contained and can do their own thing and provide you with enough play on their own to be fun and use all the features. When they ask you to do something else and bring other ships along, that's when I'm like, you know what, I got to dock you a point or so for that. So, because of that, and because this feature with the whole waterfall and the blurb on the back doesn't actually match what happened in the movie, and that could happen because things change. Things change in the last few months of the edit of a movie. Remember Rogue One? We saw the Rogue One trailer, and there's stuff in that Rogue One trailer, the first trailer, that didn't end up happening in the movie, and that was just like 6 months later. So they have to make these things and sculpt them and design the features probably 8 to 10, maybe even a year before the movie's fully released, depending on what it was like back in 98, 99. So I could see why that mistake would happen and why it would be that way. And also that kind of tells me why the new Micro Machines, the 2015 ones for Force Awakens, didn't really have many features. Because if you don't give them many features, then there's really nothing you can get wrong. Which is good because there's nothing you can get wrong, but it's bad because the toys are just boring. So, who knows? Either way, guys, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this? Is it a thumbs up toy? Is it a thumbs down toy? I want your thoughts. I want your feedback down in the comments below. If you haven't already done so, you gotta do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button. And if there's a bell there, a little bell, use the force on it so you get notifications. I've had some people tell me they're not seeing the bell anymore. And I was looking, and I didn't know that I didn't see the bell either on some things. I'm looking right now. I don't see, I'm not seeing a bell. I just want to double check real quick. It looks like it depends on where you're looking. On my phone, I don't see bells, but on the computer, I see the notification bell. So if you see it, please hit it. That way you guys get notified every Micro Machines Monday when I drop a brand new video. If you're interested in Dano Channel merch to support the channel, shop.spreadshirt.com/Dano, or just check the links down below. They're always down there. Got Micro Machine stuff, Jurassic World stuff, Star Wars stuff, lightsaber inspired shirts. So there's plenty of ways to support. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know I love you. Until next time, may the Force have with you, and goodbye forever. Goodbye forever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you don't miss the next Micro Machines video. It's going to be the Royal Starship Repair. It's a little bit of a rare one. I've actually already opened it, but I know how cool it is, and I can't wait to share that with you next week.